Hi there. I am just finished with a workout for first cardio workout since my COVID vaccine went very wrong about a month ago. So I'm very, very grateful that my breathing's back enough to do this. I'm very puffy still because I've obviously gained a little bit of weight from not being able to move the way I usually do, and also 3 weeks of steroids caused that side effect. So, but I was still strong enough to be able to do my workout, so that's a good thing. I wanted to talk to you about the COVID pandemic and chronic illness people, and what my experience is with it and how I have perceived this whole pandemic from my point of view. And maybe some of you feel this way, maybe some of you have family members that feel this way. So March hits, and I am confused because the rest of the world, March 2020 hits, and I'm confused because the rest of the US is acting like they have been diagnosed with neutropenia. I mean, seriously, that's what I felt like. I felt like, oh my goodness, people are scared to go out. People are scared to be in crowds. They're keeping their distance. Like, these are things that I have been taught to do. At 15 years old, my dad was begging me to not share stuff with friends, because 15-year-olds love to share lunches, pizza, whatever, begging me not to. I was always had to have hand sanitizer on me, and I was always told to keep my distance. And with my neutropenia, it had gotten to the point where I was having, like, if I went to a concert and someone like accidentally spit on me or like just talking, I would about have an anxiety attack with whoever I was with. They would have to deal with that because I was so scared that I was going to get an infection right then and there, because that is how easy it is for me to get an infection. So that's why I was so confused, though the whole world was acting like me. And I felt like they finally, for once, might be understanding what I go through on a daily basis. And so for like the first couple weeks, I was like, okay, well, I'm used to quarantining every once in a while because that's just my life. I go for weeks at a time where I have to stay in the house. I have to stay at home because of my body, because that's what happens, or where I can only go to work and then I have to go home. I can't go out because that's what my body is telling me. And I felt like everyone was just doing that. And then people were like being conscious of their own bodies, but then also their families' bodies. So I really felt like they were taking, I feel like everyone's kind of taken a chronic illness stance to this pandemic, which has been really neat to see. But then come about May, June, I know a lot of people were thinking I was crazy for planning a pandemic wedding. And we were fortunate enough to have 100 people outside, obviously safely. But when it came to it, my family's been through this since I was 15. We've been through the fear of me, whether I'm going to die or not. We've been through the cancer testings. We've been through the awful genetic testings. We've been through it. I'm very fortunate that I'm alive. And I know, I remember living by each text message my dad would send me about my white blood cell counts, because I would know whether I was dying or not. And my dad was smart enough to lie to me. So I learned, because he knew that played tricks on my mind as well, knowing when my counts were low enough that I was on that chopping block. So anyway, I planned a pandemic wedding because for me, in my mind, I have had to be cautious. My bridesmaids, they planned a bachelorette party and bridal showers and stuff that revolved around me being who I am as a chronic illness person. And that would have been regardless whether it was a pandemic or not. They've always been very cautious. They know I can only drink X amount. They know that I have bedtime by 10. They know that they're already so health conscious for me, because I have been lucky enough to surround myself with those kinds of people. And even my friends who might not have been in the bridal party, they were asking me questions about what can I do at your wedding to make sure that we're being safest for you. That would have been asked regardless. And I'm really grateful that I have a group of people in my life that would have asked that regardless. So this summer, I lived it up the best I could because I was feeling fine. And for me, everything was normal other than the mask. And actually, I was just talking to my immune specialist, and he said that I was not the first patient that has had a better time with infections because of the mask, because people are masking up and keeping their distance. They are now helping us chronic illness patients. So where I would usually be sick every single day from January to March, I mean, I was very sick from the vaccine, but usually I am at work in the bathroom every chance I get, or under the desk crying because I'm in so much pain. But I know that that's my life and I have to just get through it. I haven't had, knock on wood, I got through January for the first time since I was 14 without feeling like I was just going to die and couldn't get through every day. That is really neat that many people are on board right now with health. That my coworkers, that my students care that much about health. That's why I want to do this video, because keep this up post-pandemic. All right, whether it's COVID or not, I obviously want life to go back to normal. I believe that we all need to be hugging one another. I believe that we need to eventually take off masks. But one of my friends texted me a couple weeks ago, and she said, I think post-pandemic when I'm sick, I'm going to mask up, or I'm going to just make sure extra to keep my distance. That in itself says so much about the amazing lessons we've learned about health. If I have strep throat, I can keep my distance a little extra from other people, rather than saying, oh, it's been 18 hours. I'm going to hug you anyway. I missed you. And just, we've got the elbow, we've got the fist bump, we've got the air hug. There's so many great things now put in place in our culture now that we can use going forward. So that's another great thing. Right now, this winter, I think right now I'm having the hardest time with the vaccine because it went so bad for me. And I'm having a very, very, very hard time at work and in normal life. Or in my personal life, when I hear people get the vaccine and they have like a normal reaction. Like, oh, I just had like a fever and chills and I was super sick. I vomited for 3 days and then I was good. Lucky. My husband, I was so jealous of him, and I know I was so grateful. He got 2 doses. So grateful because he can protect us and he can do what he believes is best for his body. He had dizziness, chills, and the next day had swollen lymph nodes, and that was that. So me being so sensitive and my body being so sensitive, I get jealous and I get angry every time someone says it. That was it. I have 3 weeks of steroids in my system. I have 3 ER visits and 3 ER bills, 2 x-rays, an EKG, and who knows what else. I have a whole nother month, I hope, of healing. So right now I'm feeling frustrated at the pandemic because I don't want another vaccine COVID-wise going forward, because I've tried it. I'm done for a little bit. And I'm jealous. I'm truly jealous of everyone that is normal enough to get that choice. But I'm grateful for everyone who has that choice, that is choosing to do that. Because they think that it's the best for their bodies and that they feel like it's the best for their families and their friends. So I'm grateful that we have that opportunity, and I'm grateful for scientists and all those amazing people that have come up with it. So overall, my rant is about how the pandemic has been a blessing in disguise, because it has taught more and more people how to care about health. This is the time to talk about chronic illness, people, because people are listening. We are not crazy, hopefully, any longer. Lots of COVID long haulers have POTS syndrome or have some form of dysautonomia. So there's going to be a lot of research done in those fields as well. And I think it'll be a lot, because I personally believe that viruses can flare up autoimmune symptoms or even cause, like, for example, Epstein-Barr virus. And I will talk about that later in a video, but I believe that this is a great starting point for the future of our health in our society. So keep doing what you're doing naturally, holistically, medically, but keep your distance if you are sick, even if it's a cold, even if it's a little bit of allergies, because people like me get a chance to live an almost normal life. And it has been so cool. So please, please, please let me continue this. And please let others continue this. And I hope that I can do another video soon with my face a little bit thinner again, and being able to tell you that my breathing is back to normal and that I'm over the jealousy of the vaccine, even though I'm really jealous. All right, have a great night. Bye.